huge secret revealed, the darkness and lightness inside a chosen one. There is something different about you. You have always felt it. You have always known that you are not like the others, that your journey is not meant to be ordinary. You see the world in ways most people cannot. You feel things at a depth that others would never dare to explore. And because of that, you carry both the light and the darkness within you. This is the secret of the chosen ones, the truth that few understand. You are not just made of light. You are not just made of darkness. You are both. And that is what sets you apart. That is what makes you powerful. The world loves to paint things in absolutes. Light is good. Darkness is bad. But you know better. You have seen too much, experienced too much, endured too much to believe in such simple lies. The chosen ones are given both the light and the darkness because they are meant to walk between worlds. They are meant to understand both creation and destruction, both love and pain, both peace and war. And that is why your path has never been easy. That is why you have faced trials that others cannot even comprehend.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The light inside you is your gift, your purpose, your ability to heal, to uplift, to inspire. It is your compassion, your wisdom, your ability to see beauty in a world that often feels broken. It is what draws people to you, what makes them seek you out, what makes them feel safe in your presence. But that light is not without cost. Because when you shine that brightly, when you radiate that kind of energy, you attract both the lost and the dangerous. You become a beacon, and not everyone who approaches you comes with good intentions. Some come to take, some come to manipulate, some come to destroy. And that is where your darkness comes in. The darkness inside you is not evil. It is not something to be feared. It is your protector, your fire, your strength. It is the part of you that knows when to walk away, when to stand your ground, when to fight back. It is the part of you that refuses to be broken, that refuses to be controlled, that refuses to bow to the expectations of a world that does not understand you. The darkness inside you is what allows you to survive, to endure, to rise even when everything is against you. But here is where things get dangerous. Most people cannot handle both light and darkness. They either drown in their own shadows, consumed by bitterness, anger, and resentment, or they become so obsessed with being good that they allow themselves to be used, manipulated, and walked over. But you, as a chosen one, do not have the luxury of extremes. You must master both. You must find balance. You must learn to wield your darkness without letting it consume you, to embrace your light without letting it make you weak. And this is where your greatest test begins, because the world will try to push you in one direction or the other. It will tell you that to be kind, you must be soft. That to be strong, you must be cruel. That to be powerful, you must abandon your heart. But you are not here to fit into their definitions. You are here to redefine what it means to be powerful, to show them that true strength is not in denying your emotions, but in mastering them. That true wisdom is not in rejecting the darkness, but in understanding it. So now I ask you, when was the last time you felt your own power? When was the last time you allowed yourself to embrace both sides of who you are? Have you been suppressing your darkness, trying to be someone you are not? Or have you been drowning in it, forgetting the light that still burns inside you? Because the moment you realize that you are not meant to choose between them, but to integrate them, you step into something that few ever achieve: true mastery of self. The shadow and the light, why the most powerful chosen ones learn to walk between worlds. There is a reason why the chosen ones are different. There is a reason why your journey has been filled with extremes, moments of profound love and moments of unbearable loss, moments of enlightenment and moments of complete darkness. It is because you are not bound to one side of existence. You were never meant to be just light or just darkness. You were meant to walk between both, to understand both, to master both. And that is why your path has been so difficult, because most people will never understand what it means to exist in both realms at once. The world is built on division, good versus evil, right versus wrong, light versus dark. But you know something they don't. You know that true power does not come from choosing a side, it comes from understanding them both. You have seen how blind pure light can be, how it can be taken advantage of, how it can be manipulated into submission. You have also seen how destructive pure darkness can be, how it consumes everything in its path, how it leaves nothing but emptiness behind. And so, you do not belong to either, you belong to the balance. Think about it, every great leader, every true warrior, every enlightened soul throughout history had to embrace both sides of themselves. They had to know when to be kind and when to be ruthless, when to heal and when to destroy, when to offer a hand and when to withdraw it. Because if you are all light, the world will tear you apart. And if you are all darkness, you will destroy yourself before you ever reach your true potential. The chosen ones are not here to be saints, nor are they here to be villains. They are here to be something far greater, forces of transformation, catalysts of change, embodiments of truth. But this is where it becomes dangerous, because when you walk between worlds, when you refuse to conform to one extreme or the other, you become unpredictable. You become uncontrollable. People do not know whether to love you or fear you, whether to trust you or keep their distance. And that is why so many chosen ones walk alone. That is why so many of you feel like you do not belong anywhere. Because you are not meant to belong to one side or the other. You are meant to stand in the center, to see what others cannot see, to navigate the spaces that most people fear to even acknowledge. It is not an easy path. It will demand everything from you. It will force you to confront your own shadows, to face your own fears, to strip away every illusion you have ever held about yourself. Because you cannot master what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot wield what you refuse to understand. The darkness inside you is not your enemy. It is your power. But only if you learn to control it. Only if you learn to channel it, to direct it, to use it for something greater than destruction. And the light inside you, it is not here to make you weak. It is not here to make you naive. It is here to remind you why you fight, why you endure, why you continue even when everything in you wants to give up. Light without darkness is powerless. Darkness without light is meaningless. But together, they make you unstoppable. Now ask yourself, have you been rejecting parts of yourself out of fear? Have you been afraid to embrace your own power because of what it might mean? Because the moment you stop running from yourself, the moment you accept that you are both the shadow and the light, you step into something that few ever achieve: true mastery of who you are. The awakening of power, how to use your darkness and light to transform your reality. The moment you stop fearing your own nature is the moment you begin to awaken. Most people go through life operating at half power, either suppressing their darkness to fit into society's expectations or drowning in it, believing that their pain, their anger, their shadows define them. But you are not most people. You are a chosen one, and your power comes from your ability to integrate both sides of yourself, not to choose one over the other, but to master them both. I think about the most powerful figures in history, the ones who changed the world, the ones who left a mark so deep that time itself could not erase their presence. They were not just beings of light. They were not just beings of darkness. They were a perfect balance of both. They knew when to be compassionate and when to be ruthless. They knew when to give and when to take. They understood that to create something great, one must wield both the power of destruction and the power of creation. And that is the secret they never tell you. The most powerful chosen ones are not the ones who blindly follow the light. They are the ones who have danced with their darkness and emerged unbroken. But how do you do this? How do you take the war inside you and turn it into power? How do you stop feeling like you are being torn apart by opposing forces and instead use them to build something greater? The answer lies in mastery. Mastery of self is the highest form of power. It is not about controlling others, not about forcing the world to bend to your will. It is about understanding every part of yourself so deeply that nothing can shake you. It is about becoming the kind of person who does not react to life, but instead directs it with intention. And to do that, you must first face yourself completely. Look at your darkness. Do not run from it. Do not pretend it does not exist. Sit with it. Ask yourself, where does it come from? What wounds have created it? What fears does it feed on? What parts of yourself have you buried because the world told you they were unacceptable? Your darkness is not here to destroy you. It is here to reveal what still needs to be healed. It is here to show you the places where you have been abandoned, where you have been hurt, where you have been made to feel small. And once you understand it, once you see it for what it truly is, you can begin to take control of it. Because here is the truth. The most dangerous darkness is the one that is ignored, the one that is buried, the one that is denied. That is the darkness that controls people without them realizing it. That is the darkness that makes people lash out, sabotage their own success, destroy relationships, and live in constant fear. But the chosen ones who face their own darkness, who look it in the eye and refuse to run, that is where true power begins. Because once you understand it, once you make peace with it, it no longer controls you. It becomes a tool, a weapon, a source of strength that can be used with precision instead of recklessness. And then there is your light, your ability to love, to heal, to create, your ability to see beauty where others see nothing, the part of you that still believes in something greater, even after everything you have been through. But light without strength is fragile. It is easily shattered. That is why so many people who only embrace the light end up broken. They do not know how to protect themselves. They do not know how to set boundaries. They give and give until there is nothing left. But when your light is protected by the strength of your darkness, it becomes something else entirely. It becomes unbreakable. When you learn to balance your light and your darkness, you become the kind of person who does not just survive life, you shape it. You stop being thrown around by circumstances and instead begin to create your own reality. You stop allowing people to take advantage of you while still maintaining your ability to love deeply. You stop fearing your own power and instead start using it with purpose. And this is where everything changes. Because once you reach this level of mastery, people will notice. They will see something in you that they cannot explain. They will feel your presence before you even speak. Some will be drawn to you, hungry for the wisdom you carry. Others will fear you because they know they cannot manipulate you, cannot control you, cannot break you. But no matter what, they will respect you. This is the path of the chosen one. It is not easy. It is not for the faint of heart. It requires you to face yourself in ways most people never will. It requires you to walk through fire, to embrace discomfort, to let go of everything that no longer serves you. But if you can do this, if you can master both your light and your darkness, there is nothing that can stop you. So now I ask you, are you ready to awaken? Are you ready to stop fighting yourself and instead learn to wield every part of who you are? Because if you are, then your journey is just beginning. The final transformation, becoming the unstoppable force you were always meant to be. This is the moment that changes everything. The moment where you stop waiting. The moment where you stop doubting. The moment where you look at everything you have been through not with regret, not with anger, but with the understanding that every single experience, every single betrayal, every single victory and failure was leading you to this exact moment, to the realization that you were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were never meant to follow the paths that others take. You were meant to forge your own, to become something that most people will never even comprehend. Up until now, you have felt the weight of the world pressing down on you. You have felt the pull of your past, the scars of your wounds, the whispers of doubt that tell you you are not ready, not strong enough, not worthy. But here's the truth. That voice is not yours. That voice is the echo of a world that fears your power, a world that has tried to condition you into playing small, into believing that you are just another person, just another soul walking through this life without purpose. But deep down, you have always known the truth. You have always felt it. And now, you are waking up to it. This is where you step into your true self, where you stop running from your own power, where you stop apologizing for who you are, where you stop holding back, because you are afraid of what others will think, what others will say, what others will do when they realize that you are no longer willing to live by their rules. This is where you rise. The chosen ones are not like the rest. They do not seek validation. They do not wait for permission. They do not ask to be understood because they know that most people will never understand them. And that is okay. Because you were never here to fit in. You were here to lead, to transform, to shake the very foundations of what people believe is possible. You were here to remind the world that there is something greater, something deeper, something beyond the limitations that society has placed upon itself. But becoming this version of yourself will not be easy. It will require everything from you. It will demand that you leave behind the version of yourself that was built to please others, the version of yourself that was afraid to take up space, the version of yourself that questioned whether you were truly meant for more. You cannot carry those old versions of yourself into your future. You must let them go. And that is where most people fail, not because they are not capable, not because they are not worthy, but because they are unwilling to release the past. They hold on to their old identities, their old wounds, their old fears, thinking that they can step into their power while still carrying the weight of who they used to be. But that is not how transformation works. You cannot become something new while clinging to the old. You must be willing to burn everything that no longer serves you. You must be willing to stand in the fire of your own evolution, knowing that when you emerge, you will not be the same. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to let go of the stories that have kept you small? Are you ready to stop playing a role that was never meant for you? Are you ready to embrace the full force of who you are, without fear, without hesitation, without apology? Because the moment you say yes, the moment you fully commit, the entire universe shifts. Doors that were once closed begin to open. Opportunities that seemed impossible begin to appear. People who are aligned with your destiny begin to find you. Not because you are lucky, not because you are special in some arbitrary way, but because you have finally stepped into alignment with who you were always meant to be. And when that happens, there is nothing that can stop you. Not doubt, not fear, not the opinions of others, because you will have something that most people spend their entire lives searching for: absolute clarity. You will know who you are. You will know what you are here to do, and you will stop at nothing to make it happen. That is what it means to be a chosen one. Not to be better than others, not to be above them, but to be the one who chooses to rise, who chooses to lead, who chooses to embrace their power instead of running from it. This is your moment. This is your awakening. This is where everything changes. Take a deep breath. Feel it. The power that has always been inside you. It has been waiting for you to claim it. Now, the only question left is, will you?